Hi, my name is Ahmet Hoke. I'm professor of neurology and neuroscience at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, and I'm also the director of the neuromuscular division. I've been the editor-in-chief of Annals of Clinical and Translational Neurology since November of 2022. I like being an editor. It gives me an opportunity to see cutting-edge research before it is published and allows me to be informed of a broad swath of neurology. My predecessor, Jack Kessler, was very good in growing the journal and getting it into the top tier quartile among the clinical neurology journals. And so that helped us attract a lot more publications. In fact, in the last year and a half, we've seen almost an exponential growth of our submissions. I think one of the advantages of working with an open access journal such as Acton is that because our manuscripts are publicly available, we encourage our authors to promote their publications in social media so that their kind of non-scientist friends, communities can hear and learn about it. And I think that's why the open access journals really have a bigger role to play in disseminating the neuroscience to general audiences. I think one area where we've seen really impactful papers published in Acton has been the COVID-related papers. Our most highly cited manuscript deals with the long-term neurological complications of COVID. I think the other big area is really trying to develop biomarkers for disease severity as well as diagnostics, especially diagnosing the neurodegenerative diseases at the earliest stages so that we can do better clinical trials that doesn't require 5 to 10 years of investment in resources to get an answer. I think that's really the big development in my mind in our field. One of the things that I've tried to do is actually encourage junior member recruitment for reviews. So not just relying on well-known leaders in the field, but also rising leaders in every field. I think it was 1995, the ANA meeting was in Baltimore. And that was my first ANA meeting that I attended, and I really felt at home from day one. The opportunity to interact with the academic leaders in neurology, as well as the science that was being presented, was definitely a higher caliber than some of the other general neurology meetings. When I was elected to ANA 20 years ago, it had a reputation as a quote-unquote old boys network. It was very insular, and you had to be a full professor to get in. I think there were some members who thought that we really should be a very honorific society and remained closed. But I think we would have become less and less relevant if that were the case. But my prior mentor and a prior ANA president, Jack Griffin, and then later Eva Feldman, opened up the ANA to junior academicians. And I think, to me, that has been the most transformative thing in ANA's history, that making the ANA much more inclusive and open to the developing leaders of the field. I really see the ANA as the home of academic neurology. That is, this is the place where young people who aspire to become leaders in neurology has an opportunity to meet and make connections with the leaders in the field. There are a lot of educational opportunities for trainees and other young investigators, as you know, at the annual meeting. The most important thing to get out of a meeting is making the personal connections. And making connections isn't just like meeting the leaders in the field, but also your peers. That's what I tell my trainees, making sure that you meet other residents from other institutions, you meet other postdoctoral fellows, clinical fellows from other institutions, because they're going to be your cohort of leaders in the future. And making those connections is really important. I'm really hopeful that in the next 10 to 20 years, we're going to have truly disease-modifying therapies. Some of them are going to be gene therapies. Some of them are going to be based on, mechanistic studies that truly alter the disease course and not just be just symptomatic therapies. And a lot of this is going to happen in academic neurology, especially rare diseases. The big pharma is not going to be running big clinical trials. These are all going to start in, academic neurology. Some of them are going to be investigator-initiated clinical trials. I mean, it's already happening. The ANA is going to be the best platform to disseminate these type of advances.